good. It could happen. Because right now, congressional action may threaten the local TV that you rely on, that you've always relied on. Millions could lose access to free local news. Others could lose their HD TV unless Congress protects local TV. Tell Congress to protect millions who could lose their free TV. Log on, learn more at thefuturetv.org or call 1-800-200-4372. Tell Congress, protect your local TV. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Here's hoping you're healthy and wealthy. South Florida's Health and Wealth Radio Network. AM 1470, WWNN, Pompano Beach. Attention, the 4th annual 12-Step Music Fest is coming November 3rd through the 6th in Sugarloaf Key, Florida. 4 days of music and fun with 12 musical acts along with the Rockers in Recovery supergroup featuring Byrd, guitarist formerly of Joan, Jett and the Blackhearts, Liberty Devito, formerly of Billy Joel, Woody Geisman of the Del Fuegos, Kasim Sulton of Todd Rundgren and Utopia, Christine Ohlman of the Saturday Night Live Band, and 4 more to be announced by September. Find out more about this sober Woodstock in Sugarloaf Key by joining rockersinrecovery.com or by calling 877-799-8773.
The First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach has been part of the 12-Step community for 14 years, and they've helped thousands of people to recover from addiction and the issues surrounding addiction. First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach is a sober living community built on the 12-step approach. Male or female, you can learn to be responsible again. Their 3 to 6 month intensive sober living house features a compassionate and structured program, and they work with attorneys and the courts. Call the First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach today, 954-942-7414. That's 954-942-7414. Or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com. Remember, if the elevator to your success is broken, you must take the steps. Take the first step today by calling First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach, 954-942-7414. Or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web, Rockers in Recovery. Music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle to the rock and roll industry, all backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery, featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan, Jett and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Byrd, Richie Supa of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival at your fingertips. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
This is the Rockers in Recovery radio show, dedicated to news, interviews, events, and festivals taking place in the rock and roll industry and in the world of bands and musicians who support recovery. Find out more by going to holisticlifestylesradio.com or join Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. Now, the host of Rockers in Recovery, here's John Hollis.
This is definitely not John Hollis. This is Rocket, lead singer of Rhetoric, with my main man, the percussionist, JP, in the house.
Hey, hey.
What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all are out there listening and had a good day. So we are filling in for John Hollis for the next few weeks, and we want you to call in. The number to call in is 888-565-1470, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So, we are in the band Rhetoric, and if you don't know who we are, shame on you. Good stuff. The band is amazing. Being in recovery and doing music is amazing. 12-Step Music Fest coming up in November. Definitely not something you want to miss. This is going to be huge. It's going to be an amazing show. We're performing there as well as so many others, Thrown Alive, and the super group, which you'll be hearing a lot about. We got Chris on the board. Chris,
what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Oh, not much. We're glad to be back on the air. We've been off the last couple of weeks, but we are back, and we got a new schedule and a new lineup here on Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network. We're having a good night tonight, hanging out with Rhetoric and promoting for John, Rockers in Recovery, since he's up in New York having a good old time.
Yeah, it must be nice, man.
He was telling me he tried to get a hotel the other night. You know how much they tried to charge him?
I can't even imagine what they're charged for a hotel.
$500 for, like, the even crappy neighborhood hotel.
He needs to find an attic to crash with, you know?
Yeah, why didn't he call the AA hotline or something? You know, hey, I need a couch, man. So John's probably listening. I'm sure he'll call in.
Yeah, he's up there in New York. He's listening, working on the streamer right now, working on Rockers in Recovery. And speaking of our streamer, you can check us out if you go to holisticlifestylesradio.com. We're going live on Blog Talk Radio right now. If you go to blogtalkradio.com, be sure to check us out. You can just search us up by Holistic Lifestyles Radio or Rockers in Recovery. Click the Listen Live link and join us now. We got a lot going on tonight. We got the band Rhetoric in here. Later on, we got Laura Betts calling in, talking about hyperbaric oxygen therapy, which, you know, we know nothing about.
No.
Hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
I wouldn't even start to try to spell it.
But I would try it.
You guys want to start taking bets? Because I don't know how to spell it either.
I'm not even going to try to spell it.
Maybe someone can.
I mean, we can put a pool together of like $5 each and see which one of us gets closest. And then, you know, when Laura comes on, she'll tell us the right spelling, and we'll see who the winner is.
How about if we get a caller to call in and spell it correctly in the next, 20 seconds, and we'll give them $5? Can we do that? Is that legal?
No, we can't give out money to callers. There's a whole tax thing, unfortunately.
All right, so cancel that.
And I'm not filling out any paperwork, all right? It's literally, I'm just really lazy, and I don't feel like filling out tax forms for trying to figure out the percentage of $5. I'm crappy at math anyway, so it's just not the cards. You can blame me all you want. That's the reason you're not getting the $5.
So let me ask you, Chris. You have your pulse on the radio station. Do we have a lot of listeners that are incarcerated?
Yeah, that's right. We got over at the Broward County Jail. We got them listening in. They usually listen in Sunday nights.
Can they call in, or
are
they on lockdown?
We're going to be on from 8 to 10. Sunday nights, and then through the week we're going to be on Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and we got a brand new schedule. Shift Guru is going to be on Monday nights. Tuesday nights is going to be Rockers in Recovery. We got Wednesday nights. We got Chris from the First Step Sober House is going to be coming in and doing those. We got Will Grayson from Angel Side by Side on Thursday nights. We're going to be talking to him later. And, of course, you got me, Chris West, hosting that sci-fi show right here on the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network, the only radio show here in South Florida, actual radio show. I get to say that again now that we're back on air.
We're going to keep it on the air, right? Because I guess John's going to have
no idea how hard it is in the sci-fi world to break that podcast barrier. Like, nobody takes you seriously, not at all. And the moment we went off air, like, everyone's like, let us know when you're back on air, and then we'll come back to talking to you.
That's what's up. See, that's what's going on.
So we're back Friday nights, 10 to 11, me, Sci-Fi Amy. This Friday night, I got a great interview I did a couple weeks back with Gil Gerard. I didn't know we were going off the air that weekend. Nobody told me until, like, Friday night, and it's like, oh, by the way, we're not doing any shows. You guys realize I just did this, like, 40-minute epic interview with Gil Gerard, Buck Rogers. funny guy. And it's like, it's 40 minutes long. It's like, I didn't get to play it. So we're going to re-air it so that it goes out through the entire network. It's going to be me and Amy for a little bit, going over all the stuff that just went on at Comic-Con. Comic-Con's wrapping up this week.
Yeah, I've seen that on TV.
Lots of announcements, new shows, new movies coming out. We're going to kind of do a quick 15-minute, you know, our best ideas, what we like, what we saw, and all that, giving you all the news of what's on there. So that's Sci-Fi Show, Friday nights right here on the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network, 10 o'clock. That'll be our new time slot, and you can always find us at thatsci-fi-show.com.
This is the best thing going on radio right now. It's right here.
We got real entertainment shows.
And we're not trying to sell you gold.
We're not trying to sell you vitamins. We're just trying to have a good time.
Hey, I hear the phone. Let's see who's there. Who's calling in? Just send them right over. Hopefully it's somebody from the Conti, because that I can relate to.
It is our mighty and overlord Hollis calling us in, Johnny Boy.
It's Dad.
Hollis.
Yes, the great John Hollis is on the line with us. What's up, buddy?
John.
What's going on, guys? You know, it's not from the Conti. I can guarantee you it is not from the Conti.
Yeah.
I'm actually calling in here from upstate New York. I wanted to just give a call in and let everybody know that, we had some things occur in my family. My mom died on July 7th, and I've been up here from the 1st dealing with, getting, her through some cancer issues, and she ended up passing away on the 7th. So we had to shut down the shows temporarily because there was no way that I was going to be able to deal with the issues that I was dealing with up here, and at the same time carrying the message that I really wanted to carry, and of course that message is a message of hope to people that are in recovery. I got a lot of friends, and I got a lot of friends in recovery, and a lot of those friends are stepping up to the plate for me right now. And Rocket, as it's been already said, Rocket will be doing the Rocket, and of course JP and Rhetoric will be doing the Tuesday night shows. We got a great show lined up for you tonight. We got Roger calling in from Toronto Live at around 10:30.
Nice.
Laura Betts will be calling in here in a little while, talk about hyperbaric oxygen therapy and how it will help you in early recovery with detox issues.
Wow.
At the same
it'll
time,
definitely help you. Hanging out with Laura for a little bit.
Yeah, Laura's always somebody nice to hang out with, too.
Oh, yeah, she is.
In the meantime, we're also going to have Will Grayson calling in talking about Angels side by side, and I understand that my boy Rocket is going to have a call in also. So listen, kick back. We're online right now. I am actually sitting here with about 4 different blogs opened up and chat rooms, and we're chatting back and forth. Enjoy the show. And I will be back on the 17th. I will be live this coming Sunday from right up here in Greater Wappingers Falls, Poughkeepsie, New York area. Scary thought. But, the bottom line is that we're going to do it, baby, and we're going to make it happen. And, again, thank you to all my friends that are, Chris D, who's stepping up tomorrow night and doing it's going to be, all about recovery tomorrow night with Chris D on the Rockers in Recovery radio show.
It's always all about recovery.
Yeah, well, he's coming in. He's going to talk about some big book issues and some other things, and he's going to talk about, real recovery, man, and he's going to be down and dirty. So listen to Chris. And, and also, when you talk about Will Grayson gets some guests that are off the chain. So you get a chance to listen 10 o'clock on Thursday night. That's a great opportunity for you to really, really understand the working mechanisms of your addiction in your mind. And, of course, put on your aluminum antenna headset, because on Friday night at 10 o'clock, you will be listening to Chris West and Amy from that Sci-Fi show.
So since you brought it up, John, and since you called in, I got to tell you what an amazing inspiration you are in light of all that's gone on in the last few months, man, honestly. And I mean, you're a close friend, not only to me, but the band. And, I've gone through a couple of things that I thought were major, and in light of your situation, so minor. And, and I've had a chance to talk to you on the phone through the different things. And, you're just an amazing inspiration. My condolences to you and your family for all, not just your mom, but, your dad passed away. I don't know if people know that as well, but, and you show up and you just keep, not only that, you carry the message. You call me up, and, I recently lost my job, so I've kind of been in this little bit of a funk and faced with my fears again, things that I thought I dealt with, and you pull me right out of it by allowing me to do this. So you're helping me a lot more than I'm helping you. And
one of the things, here's one of the things that I've come to find out, that, God doesn't give us too much that we can't handle. And the times that my plate feels like it's overflowing and falling on the floor, I just tell them, listen, it's overflowing and falling on the floor. And somehow, some way, the strength comes, man. Ned Glatter said, I was told at the very beginning, you don't pick up a drink or a drug no matter what. If your butt falls off, you don't use. You don't go, John, you don't have the right to go to 79th Street and smoke crack anymore. It's just not going to happen for you. And, my job today, just like your job and JP's job and Rhetoric's job as a band, is to carry a message of hope. And that's the bottom line. We're here to be able to carry a message of hope and let people know, hey, listen, first of all, we're not a glum lot. I was on the air for about a year and a half, and by the grace of God, I was standing at the First Step Sober House doing a Thanksgiving live broadcast, and this kid walked up to me and he said, "You know something? I was listening to you, and I was going through this funk, like, is this all worth it? I got this radio show going on, and I want to carry a message. Is it all worth it?" And I was getting all, how you get, how addicts get, and this kid walked up to me and he said, "You know something? I was listening to you a year ago in a county jail, and I called you collect because we give out the number to call collect, and I called you collect, and you remember me calling?" I'm like, "No." But he says, "Well, listen, I just wanted to let you know, I just picked up my year medallion. I got out of jail, came right to the First Step Sober House, and I picked up my year medallion, and I want to thank you for carrying a message that we all listen to in a county jail." And I got to tell you something, man. I know that has nothing to do with me. That all has to do with God.
It's all
that
God.
Is all God, dude. Absolutely, man.
We agree with you wholeheartedly on that. This band and everything that the band has happening in the band and in my life and in my band members' lives, and it's all good stuff. It's all God. It's all God, and it blows my mind. It really does.
Well, here's the deal. I'm going to let you guys get back to your show. I'm going to kick back and play on the internet while you're doing it. And again, thank you to my friends for supporting not only me
F-bombs,
but most importantly, Rockers in Recovery and carrying our message of hope. You guys have a great night.
Right.
We'll talk soon. Okay.
Love you, man.
Take it easy, brother.
Love you, brother. All right, man.
So do we have another caller? I heard the phone ring.
Oh, yeah, we do have another caller, but we got to take a quick time out for a little word from our sponsors, and we're going to hear from the First Step Sober House, and we're going to hear a little bit more about the 12-Step Music Fest when we get back. But while we're going out to this break, I'm going to hook you guys up. I got your CD here in studio. So let's go out with track 2 on your CD.
The First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach has been part of the 12-step community for 14 years, and they've helped thousands of people to recover from addiction and the issues surrounding addiction. First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach is a sober living community built on the 12-step approach. Male or female, you can learn to be responsible again. Their 3 to 6 month intensive sober living house features a compassionate and structured program, and they work with attorneys and the courts. Call the First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach today, 954-942-7414. That's 954-942-7414. Or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com. Remember, if the elevator to your success is broken, you must take the step. Take the first step today by calling First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach, 954-942-7414. Or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web. Rockers in Recovery. Music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle to the rock and roll industry. All backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery. Featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan, Jett, and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Byrd, Richie Super of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival and leadership. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
Attention, the 4th annual 12-Step Music Fest is coming November 3rd through the 6th in Sugarloaf Key, Florida. 4 days of music and fun with 12 musical acts along with the Rockers in Recovery supergroup featuring Byrd, guitarist formerly of Joan, Jett, and the Blackhearts, Liberty Devito, formerly of Billy Joel, Woody Geisman of the Del Fuegos, Kasim Sulton of Todd, Rundgren, and Utopia, Christine Ohlman of the Saturday Night Live Band, and 4 more to be announced by September. Find out more about this sober Woodstock in Sugarloaf Key by joining rockersinrecovery.com or by calling 877-799-8255. 8773.
Hey, this is John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. We want to thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Hyperbarics RX. You can reach them at hyperbaricsrx.com, or you can reach them at 877-589-9998. Thank you.
Hey, so we're back, and we have somebody very special on the phone that we want to talk to. We need to be educated. Laura, are you there?
I am here.
Hi, Laura.
Hi, darling. How are you?
Fantastic. It's so good to talk to you. So tell us about this therapy.
Okay.
Educate, because pretend I'm retarded. I have no idea.
We are very ignorant, hillbilly-like people that have no idea what hyperbaric therapy is. Explain it to us, please.
You got it. So it's nothing new. It's been around for a very long time. Originally used for treating scuba divers. Around 1955, they started to realize it was good for lots of other stuff. And basically, we are oxygen creatures. If you think oxygen's not important, just try holding your breath and going for a few minutes without it. Over 200 different types of cells in our bodies need oxygen to do its job. We need oxygen to heal. When you cut yourself, without oxygen, the body wouldn't be able to essentially grow new skin and produce collagen. And most chronic ailments, have something to do with a lack of oxygenation, either because the blood flow can't get there or because the body's not functioning properly. So when you essentially create this environment, which is done in a hyperbaric chamber, which sounds a little crazy, but basically it's just essentially a pressurized vessel that you're able to lay down inside. There's big ones, there's little ones, a lot of different kinds. But basically when you essentially create this pressure, you're allowed to absorb, it creates the opportunity for our bodies to absorb about 15 times more oxygen than they ever could if we were just sitting here, like, for example, breathing on oxygen.
That's what I was just going to say. So it's more than just breathing it. It's going all around you.
You need the pressure, and essentially what you're doing, which it's a kind of tough concept, and not a lot of people, it's like when you first start hearing it, going, what? Essentially what we're doing is we're using the pressure of the chamber to dissolve a gas in solution. Mm-hmm. In this specific case, it's oxygen and our blood plasma. And, to give you something practical that you could relate it to, think about a bottle of soda sitting on a shelf with a cap on. There's carbon dioxide dissolved in that soda. That's why when you take the top off and decrease the pressure, you get bubbles.
Right.
So that's an example of dissolving a gas in a liquid. It is the physics, and we're literally just manipulating just physics laws to create this opportunity for our bodies to heal. And it's pretty amazing. It's such a base, simple concept that you're breathing on oxygen for what it allows to happen after that. Does that help? Is that a good place to start?
Yeah, that's fantastic. So now let's take it a step further, because John was telling me how you're utilizing this for some of the newcomers, people that are just coming in, and how it's going to help them detox. Because I tell you, there's a lot of different things that people are doing to detox, and we know pills are like an epidemic down here in Florida, and they're prescribing more pills to get them off. None of that makes any sense to me.
No, and you're absolutely right. And one of the greatest things about hyperbaric oxygen therapy is it's using our body's natural abilities. So one of the things that happens when you create this, the term is gradient, when you create this change, this difference, is it physically activates the leukocytes. So it stimulates the white blood cells. The activity of the white blood cells increases. Now, the neat thing about that is it does boost the immune system. And someone who's, coming into recovery, they haven't been taking good care of themselves. And one of the things, and you may have some stories that you've experienced or people have shared with you, you make the decision to make some changes in your life, and you're sick as a dog. You feel worse than you did when you were using.
JB, can you relate to that?
Is this process. It's like, wait a minute, this doesn't make So this activation of the leukocytes, it physically stimulates the white blood cells. The white blood cells are what help us detoxify. So it's helping us to naturally detoxify in a non-invasive way. And that's just one of the things. While it's doing that, and this is something that's also really relative for people with addiction. There's a lot of research that's been coming out of our military where they have been able to clinically link post-traumatic stress disorder and some of these, quote, behavioral disorders to brain injuries. And it can also be cross-referenced with some of the data coming out of the NFL players. These guys get hit in the head, they end up with drug addictions, gambling addictions. So the link between
is that what happened to me?
And addiction is real. So, and anybody who's used, you've probably passed out at least once. Maybe you've been hit in the head. You hit somebody else in the head.
No.
So while you're
I get hit in the head all the time, even when I'm not using it.
So while you're doing this, in order for the brain to heal, brain is very, very sensitive to lack of oxygen, and there's very little blood flow there. So not only are we activating these leukocytes and naturally detoxifying, because hyperbarics is clinically documented to treat brain injuries better than anything else, you're actually dealing with some of the root causes. There's also secondary benefits of hyperbarics that regulate serotonin and dopamine. So when you look at the research that's been established for almost 20 years now about hyperbaric oxygen therapy for addiction recovery, the physics is sound. The physiology is there, as is the clinical data. The biggest issue is in the United States and in hyperbarics in general. Normally to do this, you'd need a giant $500,000 system. And
Michael Jackson had one. Isn't that correct?
Right. Well, no. Michael Jackson actually. I'm going to write a blog on this.
Okay.
Michael Jackson bought that chamber for a children's hospital, but he had a picture of him taken inside it, and that just like tabloids got a hold of it. But
he didn't actually lay down in that thing every night. So that's kind of neat. And then, of course, one of the biggest differences now is there's been a jump in technology. So now, for example, like the system that's at Holistic Healing Center, now hyperbarics is something that's within reach. It's affordable. It can be done safely. It can be done easily. The biggest question when people start hearing about it, they go, it's great. What do you mean? There's no downside? There's no side effects? There's no. Correct. So, we're talking about for the newcomer and someone detoxing or new into recovery that's obviously abused themselves, how it's going to benefit them there. But it sounds to me, it's going to benefit anybody.
It's really, it's a very, very far-reaching therapy. There's, one of the other things that it does is grows some new blood vessels. That involves the production of collagen. As we age, our skin becomes collagen deficient. So while, hyperbarics as anti-aging is growing in the market, and there hasn't been a tremendous amount of clinical research, we know that it heals wounds and grows, produces collagen. So natural detoxification, production of collagen, natural boost to the immune system. There's very few people that couldn't benefit from something like that.
Is that why you look so good, Laura?
You know what? I actually have to be truthful, and I really do feel that hyperbarics has played a significant role because I have not been kind to this body.
Well, speaking about that, not being kind to your body, because I was not kind to my body. I got into a lot of fights. I jumped from a lot of heights, trying to escape certain areas after committing certain, let's call them, not so legitimate, I think. I've screwed up my knees and my ankles, pretty much all the joints in my body. Can, the hyperbarics therapy, can this help me, maybe, get my knees and stuff feeling good? Because there are certain days where I just can't even walk.
Well, one of the things that the hyperbarics does is it does a very good job of bringing down swelling. That's one of the reasons why a lot of athletes use it post-workout, because it brings down that chronic swelling. But all of those joint injuries that you're talking about, that's all capillary deficient tissue. It's white tissue. There's not a lot of blood flow there. So when you hurt yourself, part of the reason why it takes so long to heal is because there's really a limited amount of blood supply that gets there, translates to a limited amount of oxygen. So the answer to your question is hyperbarics for knee injuries, white tissue injuries is one of the better things, and it can create the opportunity for an injury to heal in a significantly shorter amount of time.
Amazing.
And, that's something that's really important when you start talking about addiction because, like you were saying before, doctors are ready to write scripts for pain pills. We know that these opiates are as addictive as heroin. The last thing somebody who's found their way to sobriety needs is a permission slip from the doctor to start using again because they got hurt. So hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an example of how it could be used to facilitate healing, take down some of that swelling inflammation, take an injury that, let's say, might take 8 weeks to heal and bring it to 6 weeks or even 4 weeks, depending on the person. So, you get the idea.
So how does somebody get a hold of you, Laura?
I have a great website, which is hyperbaricsrx.com, and I love to talk to people, so they can call me toll-free at 866-589-99. Wait a minute, 877-589-9998. So I don't call myself very often.
Yeah, one more time. Tell them one more time.
If people want to email, I'm always open for email. I believe in HBOT, and, so people can always email me at laurabetts@hyperbaricsrx.com, too.
Now, do they have a mobile version of this thing? So, can we get you backstage with some oxygen to improve my singing abilities?
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
Have that written into your touring contract.
Some hyperbarics.
We want Laura and this treatment to come. Yeah, no doubt. We played that show at the First Step. We played that show at the First Step Memorial Day weekend, and it was an amazing show. We had a great time. There was a ton of people, but it was 18,000 degrees, and I tell you what, I could have definitely used some oxygen throughout that entire show. I almost fell out at the end.
Show.
Yeah.
You guys put on a good show. You worked really, really hard.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
But it was awesome, and it was great to see everybody, too.
Excellent.
It's just nice for people to know that they have alternatives and that they can find a supportive environment. I think that's one of the hugest things, that people just feel alone.
Yeah, no doubt. And having the things like what you're offering here with the oxygen and the, looking for alternatives. I mean, we really need to. How many people, I jumped back on this pill thing. Thank God I didn't go that route. I was much more fortunate to smoke crack, but, I keep hearing the story, the nightmarish story of the 20-year person that, ends up, at a doctor's and ends up, giving away that time because they get caught up in that because we're not researching the alternatives, and these are healthy and natural alternatives.
Yeah, and coming from the inside, I deal with this all the time, where many of the clients that come to me are having their symptoms treated, but there is no interest in trying to find out, what's causing the problem in the first place.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
For someone in recovery, they found their way because they were essentially treating their pain instead of trying to confront what's causing it. So, there's just a real condition with all of this. And, these alternatives are essentially, I think, at the very least, they're a quest for solutions and answers as opposed to just putting a Band-Aid on a problem that's going to find you some pain after later, right?
So I have two more questions before we let you go, Laura. So most people that I know, new in recovery or old in recovery, smoke cigarettes. How does it affect with this?
Well, many of them may find the hyperbaric is real beneficial for them, like with the cravings. I've had a lot of people who are smokers come out of the chamber and not feel like smoking.
Oh, amazing.
And that has to do with the detoxification and some of the physiology that's going on. The other issue is most smokers are by nature, fancy term, ischemic, meaning that you're dealing with a lack of oxygenation because the carbon monoxide is a double molecular bond with your hemoglobin. So long story short, a little extra oxygen is a really good thing because as a smoker, you're running on less oxygen to begin with.
So it sounds like if you want to quit and you get into this here, it's going to help.
There's actually a couple of studies that have been done that clinically documented hyperbarics is beneficial for smoking cessation. I feel that I used to smoke. I smoked for many years, so there's some real experience here. And of course, I don't smoke anymore. I haven't smoked in a long time. But something like that, I believe in a multi-phase approach. You need support systems, you need other things, but hyperbarics is something that as a primary therapy for many things and as a combination therapy for many things.
So JP here, our drummer, is like, he's big into working out and stuff. Will it make him bigger?
It won't make him bigger, but it will make any of the things that he's doing more efficient.
Nice.
The body needs oxygen to metabolize.
So is it something you feel right away?
It'll make him more efficient. How's that?
Yeah.
Is it something you feel right away, like you get out of this chamber and, like, you feel like a whole type of different, sensation, or, you feel right away, or is it like you have to do it over and over?
Everybody is a little different, and over the years that I've worked with people, I've had just, everything from I didn't notice any different to I had one gentleman tell me that one treatment fixed the problem that he's been having for many, many years. So, we've had all across, but most people feel very calm and very clear. Coming out of the chamber, they feel like there's a mental clarity, almost like you're awake, but in a very peaceful way. So it's, you don't get high, there isn't really euphoria associated with it, but it is a very pleasant feeling, and most people feel, after treatment, most people feel rejuvenated.
So I think if you could combine the treatment, like somebody coming in with treatment, with some live Rhetoric music in the background, like bonus.
Absolutely. We will hook them up.
There's your euphoria.
That's what we're missing. We will hook them up. I will, as a matter of fact, we'll have to put together a special Rhetoric sound system so that when people come in for hyperbaric, they can actually ask for the Rhetoric treatment. I tell you what,
we're in the process. We got a lot of things going on in the band, but one of the things that we've been bouncing around for a long time now is our Unplugged album, and I think this would fit perfect. The Unplugged Rhetoric album.
There's one in every chamber.
I think so. I think, and listen, if it takes off, then we'll actually have the Rhetoric package.
Nice.
So the chamber.
We'll do signed copies. We'll do all that.
Absolutely.
So, Laura, thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
Once again,
Always
give us that
pleasure.
phone number one more time. Give us that phone number one more time so they can call you.
877-589-9998.
We love you, Laura.
We love you guys, too. See you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So, we have...
you got Roger on the line from Throne Alive.
From Throne Alive. Before he speaks, there's amazing people that you meet in your journey in recovery along the way. And when you're a musician, there are people that you aspire to. And Roger is huge. To me personally, he's a close friend, and we've had a chance to play with him a few times. And they got some big things happening. Roger, you there?
Hey, man. Yes.
What's going on, dude?
Oh, brother, listening to another great show. I mean, you were cut for this. I can tell you, man.
No.
You missed your calling.
No way.
You sound great.
I was hoping the lead singer guitarist was good, but yeah, that's cool. At least I got a backup. So let me ask you, Rod, did you do this show, the show that I've been watching, or is it coming? The Circle to Circle.
I could not understand what you were saying there. I'm sorry, brother. I hate you.
The Circle to Circle show. Have you done it already, or is it coming?
Oh, no. That's August 27th. Saturday, August 27th. That'll be at State Theater in St. Petersburg, Florida. Great show. If you're not familiar with who Circle to Circle are, they're actually involved with a recovery-related project. Also, the lead singer, Zach Stevens, used to sing for Sabotage. Back when John Oliva kind of didn't want to sing lead so much anymore, they brought on Zach Stevens to take over the lead vocal duties. And he went ahead and formed another band after Sabotage dismantled, and that would be Circle to Circle. They're awesome. We've come to be good friends with some of the members, and we're real excited to be performing with them.
Oh, that's amazing too. And State Theater is a great place to play, right?
The historic State Theater. Yeah, I've heard a lot of rumors about some of the greats having played there, but it is a great venue. We love being there. This will be, I think, our 5th time that we've played at State Theater. So it's just a great venue, big stage, nice big, PA on the side. Just a total, great concert kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. I was really psyched when I saw you put that post on Facebook, and I was like, man, that's awesome, because I'm familiar with Sabotage. They were in my listening group back in the day, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. I knew right who it was as soon as you put it up there. I knew it was, the old Sabotage. So, yeah, that's got to be awesome. I'm really, really psyched for you guys, man.
Yeah, we just opened for John Oliva, too, who was the founder, of course, of Sabotage. We opened for him less than a year ago. And, the cool thing is, like you, back home in Michigan, I remember seeing ads for, I hate to date those guys, I hate to do that to those guys, but I remember seeing ads for, their album releases on the independent labels, or when they just got signed, be thumbing through Hit Parader magazine as a 13-year-old, just learning how to play, and I kept seeing this ad for these guys, and then I moved down here and actually got to know some of them, and, back in the 80s, and it was all pretty cool, kind of coming full circle a little bit. Circle to circle. That was terrible. Yeah, I'm no good for this, man. I was sitting here listening to you. I love you, man, and we hang out a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt.
And things are a little bit casual. I was sitting here kind of half concerned that I might, I got to watch myself, that I don't let myself get too comfortable and let the F-bombs flow.
F-bombs, baby.
No, then you get dropped.
Keep my mind on the what did Laura say, the dual molecular bonding of the hemoglobin.
But that was so hot. Intelligent women are so hot.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea. You got to check her out when she comes in studio. It's even better.
Yeah.
It's so rare when John brings, he'll bring a few people here in studio, but when he brings a nice, real pretty lady, it's a special occasion. And Laura's one of them.
Oh.
You're scared.
We would appreciate her.
You clearly don't listen to my show enough.
And coincidentally, I quit smoking too, man. So
did you really?
You might hear a little spring in my voice here. Yeah. On my 3rd week, no smoking at all.
One of the cool things about Rhetoric that you helped us with, and we've always played in 440 tuning, and we're writing new music, and it's a little bit harder. We're really excited about the tunes that we're writing now. We're taking it a little bit harder. It's ended up being a little more mainstream. We didn't do it on purpose, but it's just coming out like that. And I remember when we were performing together the last time, we were using the same equipment. You tuned down. Because I remember we were talking about the back. You tuned down. I think it was a full step you tuned down?
I don't know what they call it. I don't know what the technical term is. It's just 1 fret.
Okay, so it's a half step. So actually, we're
1 fret would be a half step. 2 frets is a whole step.
JP was talking about, man, your guitar's too trebly, tinny sounding. So I'm like, well, on this new stuff that we're writing, so I tuned down. I'm like, well, Roger tunes down. I'm going to tune down. Man, that's awesome. Tuning down is awesome.
Yeah, so, it's kind of like a magician's secret, though. Thanks, man.
Thanks for putting it out there, Chet.
Yeah, makes things a little easier to sing.
Well, it'll be cool. It's a 12-step music fest coming up. We'll be able to hear your new tuned down stuff versus their tuned down stuff. Yeah. That's going to be really cool. I mean, we got Throne Alive playing 12-step, Rhetoric's playing 12-step. We got Ricky Byrd and Richie Supa coming out, and those two can wail. I think we got Woody Eastman from the Del Fuegos is playing with them too. So it's going to be a pretty wicked thing. I mean, it'll be see what's up with the 12-step fest.
Yeah, we're actually we're trying very hard to release our first full-length CD. We have a CD out now, 6 songs, so we're going to try to release the new CD at the 12-Step Music Fest. And I hope we're playing side by side with throwing a lot of, like, close together, because, man, you know, of all the bands, and there's some amazing bands there, but of course you're going to have your own personal favorites, and Throwing a Line is definitely my favorite, man. They kill it, man. You guys rock, Roger.
Oh, yeah, you know, we pale in comparison, though, I think, to some of the other. I appreciate that, and, you know, it's always great to hang out. It's always great to play shows with you guys and celebrate, you know, hope and recovery and spread the message and show folks that, you know, as John would put it very often, we are not a glum lot. I'm excited to see people like Mike Zito again. You know, he's going to be back in the fold on this. If you haven't seen Mike Zito, he's, you know, near legendary status as a blues player.
Yep.
Just an incredible act. You know, Mark Lundholm is back as the MC. He's just, you know, what a great-hearted guy.
Amazing.
Hilarious. Great story. You know, a brilliant take on recovery and blending it with humor. And, you know, what they say, it's like, you know, humor, true humor, good humor is based out of, you know, life experience pain. And, you know, no greater example of that than the brilliance of Mark Lundholm. So, as always, we're definitely looking forward to it. And also, I see that Hyperbarics RX is a sponsor, so we can maybe, you know, try out a chamber. What do you think?
I don't know if they're. Hopefully, they do bring something. If not, I'm sure they'll have informative pamphlets on it. I mean, because I'm very curious and I want to learn more about it now. You know, I'm always open to anything that's going to help me stay healthier due to the abuse that I put on myself.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, you know, like I said, 12-Step Music Fest coming up here. We'll have everything there. We'll have Throwing Live there. We got you guys there, Rhetoric. And, of course, it's all sponsored by Rockers in Recovery, and they're putting together with the super group. You know, we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a lot of great information out there. Roger, we got to thank you. We kind of skipped our last break, so we got to make one up here real quick, guys. So we're going to go out to another quick break.
Roger,
we got the music here. Roger, thank you again for coming on, and we're looking forward to seeing you at 12-Step Fest.
Oh, same here, man. Thanks for having me. Love you guys, and we'll see you real soon.
All right, brother.
So we're still on the air, but
yeah, you guys got to take it to break. You know, you got to act like a show host here. You know, and answer phone.
I was just like deer in headlights. I had no idea what was going on. That was awesome. That great pause right on the air, like just a deep breath right there. That was awesome. So, what do you got going on? You got to play some more Rhetoric. That's what you do.
That's what we do. We play a little Rhetoric. We're going to go out with a little bit of failure.
Do I still got my other caller on the phone?
Yeah, we'll get to her when we get back.
Jelly's coming on the phone.
We got Jelly and we got Will calling in.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. I'm gonna feel that city.
Attention, the 4th annual 12-Step Music Fest is coming November 3rd through the 6th in Sugarloaf Key, Florida. 4 days of music and fun with 12 musical acts along with the Rockers in Recovery supergroup featuring Byrd, guitarist formerly of Joan, Jett and the Blackhearts, Liberty Devito, formerly of Billy Joel, Woody Geisman of the Del Fuegos, Kasim Sulton of Todd Rundgren and Utopia, Christine Ohlman of the Saturday Night Live Band, and 4 more to be announced by September. Find out more about this sober Woodstock in Sugarloaf Key by joining rockersinrecovery.com or by calling 877-799-8773.
The First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach has been part of the 12-Step community for 14 years, and they've helped thousands of people to recover from addiction and the issues surrounding addiction. First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach is a sober living community built on the 12-step approach. Male or female, you can learn to be responsible again. Their 3 to 6 month intensive sober living house features a compassionate and structured program, and they work with attorneys and the courts. Call the First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach today, 954-942-7414. That's 954-942-7414. 877-589-9414 or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com. Remember, if the elevator to your success is broken, you must take the steps. Take the first step today by calling First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach, 954-942-7414, or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web, Rockers in Recovery. Music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle to the rock and roll industry, all backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery, featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan, Jett, and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Ricky Byrd, Richie Supa of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival at your fingertips. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
Hey, this is John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. We want to thank our sponsor for tonight's show, Hyperbarics RX. You can reach them at hyperbaricsrx.com, or you can reach them at 877-589-9998. Thank you.
Hey, so if you're just tuning in, I'm Rocket from the band Rhetoric with my drummer JP at my side.
Still here.
Yeah, so we're hosting the radio station. We have done some amazing things, talked to Laura with, go ahead and say it.
We got the Hyperbarics RX.
Oxygen.
You get a Hyperbarics RX for more info on Laura Betts and the Hyperbaric Oxygen Therapy. We had Roger from Throttle Live. Great band. One of the better bands of the 12-Step Music Fest, along with, of course, Rhetoric.
Yeah, Rhetoric.
I got to always, give you guys props.
Let me throw this out there
band.
about the 12-Step Music Fest. You got to go. If you don't have money, you can call Dawn and get a hold of Dawn through online, and you can volunteer. This is the most amazing thing that I've ever been a part of in recovery. It's mind-blowing. It's a good time. It's a vacation. There's good food. They serve baby's coffee, which is the best coffee in the world. And it's just music after music after music, and it's right on the water, and it's in the Keys. And if you miss this, you're politically incorrect and retarded. So we have on the phone, if I'm not mistaken, we have Will.
That's right. We got Will Grace and Angels Side by Side Thursday nights. Will, how you doing?
Hey, guys. I'd like to welcome you guys aboard, man. I met you all out at the last thing we did, but I'll meet you again. I mean, it's great to have you guys aboard again. I just want to give a shout-out to the two extraordinary engineers, Chris behind the glass, and if Kenny's back there, hey, Kenny. And, of course, Dr. John up there in New York, wherever you are, Dr. John. And you guys, again, man, welcome aboard. Can't wait to get to the Music Fest. I got some folk coming down. I was speaking with a friend of mine. He supports it 100, solely 100%, Richie Supa from the Aerosmith background and that sort of thing. So we've been talking about that. I don't know. I was listening to you guys, and you guys are doing a great job, man. It's just good to have you aboard,
We're novices next to you, Will. Just novices.
Well, I don't know. I know John paid y'all $20 a piece to say that.
Well, he needs to get that money to me directly then. So your show's on tomorrow night, right?
No, he's on Thursday night, right?
Thursday nights.
Thursday night. Yeah. Tomorrow we got Chris from the First Step Sober House.
Thursday night.
We can get him in studio.
Dr. Barry R., who is a surgeon like myself and you guys too, and I say that when I say surgeon, one that goes into the belly of the beast and cuts out the disease, and the disease is we have a hit out on the disease, me and Dr. Barry. We do, I'm also an interventionist. Certified Arise interventionist, and he does interventions with me, and he'll come on and talk about, of course, the clinical and psychological piece of the disease, for those that are listening and they want to be more educated about the whole brain chemistry and stuff, which has a lot to do with, the disease of addiction and alcoholism.
So many levels to this disease.
Oh, it's crazy. But what I like about the doctor, and I've worked with many doctors in this field, this guy he'll go in the burning building with you. 3 o'clock in the morning, let's go get somebody. Well, all right, but in recovery we are told, and it's kind of a blue shield that you don't go in there trying to save nobody. But as an interventionist, it's my responsibility and our responsibility, because I see you guys as interventionists too, to help raise the bottom of the addict or alcoholic, not sit back and say, well, wait till they hit a bottom. So, that's kind of our approach to that. And
I was told many years ago you can get off the elevator at any floor.
There you go. I love that.
And it's got a lot of floors. There's, you get to a bottom, and there's a basement, and then there's a sub basement. There's a whole bunch of bottoms below the basement.
Yes.
I often you want to go there.
My bottom had a trap door, so I never really hit a bottom or a rock bottom. But I don't know. I'm going to kind of let you guys slide on out of there, because I know we only got a couple of minutes. I just want to call and congratulate you guys, like I said, and welcome you guys aboard.
Thanks, Will. Make sure that we'll be listening Thursday, and maybe we can call in too.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Will.
Bless.
All right, brother. Take it easy, Will.
So we got one more person on the phone that's been waiting very patiently.
That's all right. We do.
Like I said earlier, when I was talking about Roger, there are people that have God speaks through people, and He's put every person that crosses my path is amazing, and this woman is a success story for sure. Jelly, you there?
I am.
I know. I said I was going to use your real name, but I'm just.
Well.
It's Jalitza for all the listeners, and you are a true success story. One white chip, and that's so
congratulations.
That's so rare, and and we both know. We talked about this when we used to sit and talk recovery, and what an instrumental and you were to my recovery. I mean. We both know it's God. It's always God, and God puts people right where they're supposed to be. But what an inspiration you've been to me, and what a help. And I've carried the things that we've discussed early on. I've carried them with me the whole time, because you were an inspiration. You went after this with everything that you had.
And that wasn't much. You truly rock it, and I just want to give a shout-out to Rhetoric. You guys, I got the privilege. I had the privilege to meet you early on in my recovery and see you guys really perform and rehearse. And I remember last year in May when you guys came out in the paper, and it was just, what an amazing, you guys really made me feel part of something, even when I wasn't. And recovery was working, hand in hand with that. I mean, thanks to recovery, I got to meet you and JP and the guys and their families. It was just amazing, and you gave me such a new look on music, and you guys are just phenomenal. I heard you guys you rocked the mic the first time. It was just everywhere. You
got to come see us.
You guys rocked the house, and that was just amazing. I remember you writing the lyrics. We were at that little house, and everybody would get there, and then people would sit around the neighborhood and listening to you play.
You made my halfway house a co-ed halfway house. That was awesome. That was awesome.
No room to step into that place, and I just tore it down.
And we thank you for that.
So we're getting ready to end the show. I'm sorry I didn't have you on longer, but I'm going to ask you one question because it's my understanding from my sponsors. I've had a few now, but how important are the steps, Jelly?
The most important.
No doubt.
The most important thing. It is what makes this work. It's how it works. This is how this whole thing works, how your perception changes, and how you get to be truly the person that God intended.
No doubt. And if you do the steps, you don't have to pick up multiple white chips like myself or my esteemed drummer.
Well, some of us have to. You have to have one key ingredient, before you come to recovery. This is what I believe and what my sponsor told me. You have to be desperate. That's what it is. You got to give up that life. You got to want to. All you need to do is be willing. Everything has already come for us.
No doubt.
You just got to be willing and give it all. And thank you for showing me the way, too.
Thank you, Jelly. I love you.
I love you guys.
All right. See you later.
Bye. And you know what, guys? It doesn't matter if you're a white chip or if you got your 5-year chip, your 10-year chip, or your first day walk-in chip. The fact that you chose to do a new life and change your thing, then that's the real goal. And keep walking forward and not give up.
And live a life, honestly, beyond your wildest dreams. I mean, if you'd have told me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or before I moved to Fort Lauderdale, I was going to be back in a band. We got ILA, Interlight Agency, with Bruce Swink managing us now, and doing videos and playing shows. I mean, that wasn't even in my perception. I just wanted to stop using, period. I didn't care what I was doing, but music wasn't even in that picture. I'd walked away from that. So thanks for everybody that listened. Special, shouts out to John Hollis and First Step Sober House, 12-Step Music Fest.
Remember, at the 12-Step Music Fest, Rockers in Recovery sponsoring the 12-Step Music Fest Supergroup. We got Ricky Byrd, Liberty DeVito, Woody Eastman, Christine Ohlman of the Saturday Night Live Band, Kasim, Sulton, an amazing, amazing bass player. If you've never heard him, he's awesome. Jeff Kaz is coming on, and Chris Anderson. And we'll run out of time.
Here's hoping you're healthy and wealthy. South Florida's Health and Wealth Radio Network, AM 1470, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Let me tell you about the Sound Pillow. Sound Pillow helps many people in early addiction recovery who suffer from stress, anxiety, fear, and long sleepless nights to get a comfortable night's sleep by providing a calming and soothing feeling for the mind's everyday distractions. Sound Pillow allows the mind to shut down, the body to relax, and the spirit to heal. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's soundpillow.com. And while you're there, check out the many endorsements from people and addiction treatment centers using the Sound Pillow. Don't lose another night's sleep. Call toll-free today, 877-846-6488. That's 877-846-6488. And let the healing begin. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's www.soundpillow.com.
In the fast-paced world we live in, it's hard to find a company that has an impeccable reputation based on professional skill and knowledge, coupled with a strong work ethic, honesty, and integrity. Welcome to the world of Canatelli Builders Incorporated. Specialists in custom residential and commercial construction for 3 generations, CBI finishes the job as agreed and on time. Browse our website at www.canatellibuilders.com, read the testimonials, then call us at 954-977-2775 and let us add your name to our list of satisfied customers. While at the site, be sure to follow the link for complete information about Chinese drywall and what it may mean to you. Integrity, ethics, honesty, knowledge, performance, service, experience, Canatelli Builders. 954-277-2775. Canatelli Builders, the official contractor for the Florida Panthers.
My name is John Hollis, and of course I'm with Holistic Lifestyles Radio, and we want to talk about Crossroads of Antigua, helping people take the first step towards change. Do you know somebody struggling with addiction to alcohol, prescription medication, or other drugs? Crossroads Center of Antigua provides comprehensive detoxification, treatment, and continuing care services within a holistic body, mind, and spirit approach to recovery. Founded by Mr. Clapton, Eric Clapton, Crossroads Center is recognized as one of the top 10 international programs for addiction services. Crossroads provides quality, affordable care for individuals and their families. Call now for a free confidential assessment and speak with one of course, their admission counselors. Give them a call at 877-318-8834 or check out the website at crossroadsantigua.org. And remember, recovery is possible and is often life-saving.
Welcome to the Creating Cafe with your host, Barbara Joy, laughingly and lovingly known as the Shift Guru. Barbara is an author, motivational speaker, and life shift coach. She assists individuals like you to identify and shift limiting beliefs as they choose to create the life they deserve. Her show is focused on those perspectives that will assist you in creating the life you desire. She will be joined by fascinating guests who will share their own inspirational stories and will provide you with the tools and awarenesses to use to create a more dynamic life. Last but not least, Barbara will assist the angelic realm in sharing their insights with you. Enjoy the discussions as you learn how to apply these unique and empowering insights to your own life. Join Barbara at the Creating Cafe. Settle into a comfortable chair with your favorite cup of coffee or tea and a mind open to the possibilities of life. Consider the life you desire to create. Identify those areas in need of shifting and join Barbara as she provides insight and wisdom. You just might choose to shift a long-held perspective. Any shift of perspective shifts your beliefs and your life experience.
Hello and welcome once again to the Creating Cafe, the hour in your week to simply consider the possibilities of life. And boy, do we have an amazing show for you today, an amazing possibility with an attachment. And the possibility is about embracing the magic in your life, and the attachment is releasing negativity. What a 1-2 punch. And I am Barbara Joy, your host for this hour of possibility. As the shift guru, I have the opportunity to share lots and lots of possibilities because that's where I live. Each of us has our own agenda, in my belief, and therefore each of us has a unique set of possibilities to consider. So as you sit back, relax, possibly have that cool beverage of choice to really allow you to open your mind to these possibilities, I ask you to simply consider them. Tumble them over as you might a stone in your hand and see what resonates and what doesn't resonate, what causes your stomach to clench because you know it's right for you and yet it's not within the societal norm, or what brings just a bit of joy to your heart. And without further ado, I'm going to invite in the angelic realm as they speak about embracing the magic in your life from their perspective. And we thank you once again for inviting us into your consciousness. We love supporting you from the unconscious standpoint, but it's even easier, it's even more direct, more forthright when you allow us to connect with you in your consciousness, so we thank you. Embracing the magic of your life, also known as the magic within. And by magic, we are not speaking of hocus pocus. We are not speaking of a sleight of hand. We are speaking about that part of your life that in the blink of an eye, in just a second, can shift you from a moment of dread to a moment of joy, if you allow it. We're speaking of that little flower along the side of a road or along a path, that if you notice it, you notice the amazing challenges it has overcome to simply spring forth. There is a song in your genre, we believe it's called the country western genre, that speaks of the flower coming up out of a crack in the sidewalk. And it speaks to the challenges that flower had to overcome to simply display its beauty. And it is the displaying of its beauty, the opportunity for you to honor it, and in honoring it, honor your own beauty, your own magic, your own fortitude that brings that smile to your face, that bounce to your step. It's the little things. We know them as the magical things in your life. And are we downplaying those big moments, those moments of high drama and wonder and awe? We are not. Because you don't miss those moments. You incorporate them. Some of you demean them by saying you're not worthy. We tell you now that if they occurred in your life, you are worthy. You are worthy of the moment. You are worthy of the honor. Your soul is worthy of the expansion it brings. And this, of course, is for those moments of awe that are gleaned in integrity. Not necessarily hard work, not necessarily piece of cake time either, but rather in integrity, and we believe you know what we mean. So we're not passing those moments by. We've simply noticed you typically celebrate those moments. No, we're speaking of the moments that you don't celebrate. The days when it is dark and dank and bad and unforgivable by your definition. It is those days that you most need those moments of magic. And we set them in your path, and you pass them by. And we set them in your path again, and sometimes, eventually, you'll notice it. And then you'll shake your head and you'll walk on by. What we ask you to do is notice it. Pause for just a brief moment, if you will, and honor that inner knowing, that inner magic, that ability to smile, to feel the joy of something outside of you when there is no joy inside of you. Or, in the reverse, to notice the joy inside of you when you notice those small moments when there is no joy outside of you. In either case, your magic, your connection to the magic in your life is what is important. If something brings a smile to your face, a smile to your heart, whether it makes it to your face or not, if something brings a twinkle to your eye, or even the thought of a twinkle to your eye, we ask that you hesitate one moment longer and embrace it more fully. For when you practice this embracing, you begin noticing more and more and more of these moments of magic, these moments of awe. And as you notice more and more and more of these, your mood shifts. And as your mood shifts from one of hopelessness, desperation, failure, by your definition, to one of possibilities, potential, future. As you do that, you simultaneously open your awareness of us and our support. And as you open to your awareness of us and our support of you and all that you are and all that you can be, you may then drop into another valley of doubt. And you may hear your thoughts say, why me? Why am I getting support? I'm just a lowly, and the sentence goes on and on and on. And we want to tell you right now, why you? Because you are important to the realm. Why now? Because now is the only time we have to support you. And the next now, and the now after that, and the now after that. We don't promise support in the future because the future never comes. It's always the future. We promise support in the now because that's the only way we can support. And when you choose to stay confused, again, we're not able to connect. You have dipped once again in that hopelessness, in that lack, in that worthlessness mode. And once again, because we are persistent, we are the angelic realm, once again we start to put those little moments of magic in your path. Those moments, those little moments of awe. Because quite frankly, when you're in those down places, the big moments of awe totally are ignored because you can't conceive that they are for you. And so we request, we advise, we suggest, we desire that you begin to connect with the magic within, that you begin to honor, notice, honor, attract those magical moments. Connect with that flower on the side of the road. See that penny that was dropped just for you and pick it up and feel the wealth being provided to you by the universe, the divine, the all, through us, the angelic realm. There are valuable moments of being less than dynamic and less than excited in life. Moments of stillness are not necessarily moments of lack. And there are moments of lack that are valuable, as it is important for the sun to go behind the clouds. It is important to feel those moments of lack so you may better appreciate the moments of sun, the moments of awe, the moments of divinity, if you will. It is when you stay behind that cloud, and you will notice the sun always breaks through. It may take a moment. It may take a day. The sun always returns to shine. And we recommend that on those moments of doubt, that you look to the sun and you remember how you are intended to shine in your life, to be in that positive, upbeat, glad, delighted, joyful place, and to be in the now and to honor the magic of all that you are, all that you can be. That is what we desire for you. That is why we assist in putting those moments of magic in your life. And we ask, we pray, we suggest, we desire you to accept those moments into your life and the change that they can bring simply with a tiny moment of magical awe. Thank you. The moments of magic, what a beautiful concept from the realm. And there are so many that we pass up, that we don't see, that we just seem to ignore because we don't know what we're doing. We don't even understand we have that guidance. And I know I'm one of the worst sometimes, but often my team, because I have the connection, because I trust, sometimes I'll almost stumble onto them. They're kind of cute the way they put them in my path. The moments of awe. And we're going to continue speaking of the magical self, the magic within, and erasing negativity right after this commercial break. Before we take that break, let me introduce to you the dynamic, amazing individual who's going to tell us about erasing negativity. Sally Marks. Sally Marks is a public relations professional and award-winning journalist. Her articles have been published in national, regional, and local newspapers and magazines, and they range from International Living Buddhism magazine, to Arizona's popular Phoenix Home and Garden. She has 3 screenplays: The Air, Voices from Hell, and Gay for a Day, and they won 5 awards and placed in 2 national contests. This is an amazing lady who she and a friend decided to write a book about erasing negativity and embracing the magic within. Stay tuned for Sally Marks.
The First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach has been part of the 12-step community for 14 years, and they've helped thousands of people to recover from addiction and the issues surrounding addiction. First Step Sober House of Pompano Beach is a sober living community built on the 12-step approach. Male or female, you can learn to be responsible again. Their 3 to 6 month intensive sober living house features a compassionate and structured program, and they work with attorneys and the courts. Call the First Step Sober House at Pompano Beach today, 954-942-7414. That's 954-942-7414. Or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com. Remember, if the elevator to your success is broken, you must take the steps. Take the first step today by calling First Step Sober House at Pompano Beach, 954-942-7414. Or go online to firststepsoberhouse.com.
When you're ready for a major change, make the natural choice for addiction treatment, the G&G Holistic Addiction Treatment Program. Our approach is all natural at G&G, where holistic treatments direct you to a healthy, sober way of life without substituting one addiction for another. We're a leader in the area of holistic addiction recovery, dual diagnosis, and relapse treatment. With 22 years of experience, we have thousands of success stories. Our staff is all in-house to help you ensure your success the all-natural, holistic way. Don't wait another minute. Call G&G Holistic right now at 800-559-9503. Counselors are standing by to start you on the all-natural road to recovery at G&G Holistic. Call 800-559-9503 or log on to holisticdrugrehab.com. Make the natural choice for addiction treatment. The G&G Holistic Addiction Treatment Program. Success, the all-natural, holistic way.
My name is Charles Beckert. If you or a loved one has been injured in an accident due to the negligence of another, care enough to hire Beckert & Associates to protect your rights. We are an AV-rated law firm and have 45 years of combined experience. We are all former prosecutors and have all worked for the insurance companies, so we know what they're up to. They have their attorneys, and so should you. When involved in an accident, remember, you may be entitled to $10,000 in medical or lost wages under your PIP policy. In addition, you may receive payments for your pain, suffering, or for the suffering of a loved one. Contact us at 954-941-8363 or visit us on the web at southfloridaattorney.com.
The hiring of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertising. Ask for rewritten information about the firm's qualifications and experience.
And listeners, welcome back from that quick commercial break. And as I told you, I have Sally Marks as my guest today. Welcome, Sally.
Oh, welcome. Glad to be with you.
I am so pleased to have you here. You have such an amazing book out, and your topic is so interesting, erase negativity. Now, how did you end up writing this book? How did it kind of come about?
You know, it's kind of funny. I never intended to write a self-help book, although a lot of people had asked me to. But my co-author and friend Jackie and I were discussing some of our favorite self-help books and how they had helped us, and we were chatting on the phone, and the conversation shifted to people we knew who were in terrible emotional pain and very negative because of it, and we wondered, what would it take to help someone like that? And we brainstormed and decided that there needed to be some sort of a primer or read this first book that could help them erase their negativity, and then once they were no longer entrenched in that negativity, they could go on and enjoy the optimistic messages that are in many other books as well, that I thought was, you know, if the person doesn't erase their negativity, then any optimism would just fall apart. But I think also what was important in that was it was truly a magical moment. When we said the word they need to erase their negativity, both of us at the exact same time got goosebumps. And it was, in the words, erase negativity kind of like hung in the air. And Jackie's an intuitive. I probably just your average amount of intuition, but Jackie is really gifted. But we both felt, people talk about a calling or a mission. It was just that strong. And we thought, you know what? We need to do this. And so we did, kind of, reluctantly, but we thought, you know what? After that kind of a feeling, we knew this is what we were meant to do.
That is such a wonderful story, Sally, because I think so many of us do kind of step into this world very reluctantly. So what did you learn about yourself in writing this book?
I think that I would consider myself a fairly optimistic person, although certainly I had bouts of pessimism. But what I learned was that there's a lot more negativity that people are not aware of. And so even though there's a lot of folks out there that seem happy, I think everybody does battle negativity, and I do too. It's a daily thing. And in fact, one day I was proofreading the book for another printing for overseas, and I had been in kind of a little bit of a downer mood, and reading my own stuff cheered me up. I thought that was pretty funny. It happens to all of us. So, I learned, I think I did learn a lot about myself.
So you call it the book a practical guide. How is it a practical guide to reducing negativity?
We didn't want it to be difficult or hard. We wanted it something very simple steps that anybody could do every day, because that is the point of it. Is it's not like you're just going to do a couple things and then magically you're going to be positive. It's something you're going to have to work on. And if you make it too complex or too time-consuming, people aren't going to do it. So we have very simple steps that people can take. But first, we thought that would be dry to just have a book of tips. And so what we did is we interviewed different people. So each chapter is the story of one individual who overcame negativity and difficulties. And then at the end of the chapter, there's these simple tips, like usually 3 to erase negativity and then maybe 3 more to embrace the magic within. But we learn best by, I think, other people's stories. And so we're kind of guided that way by not just steps that the individual needs to take, but also by learning through another person's example who faced the problems and overcame them.
I love learning by examples. I totally agree with you, Sally, that it is when we watch others or hear what others have accomplished that we kind of, at least for me, I will kind of go, wonder if I could do that. Now, you talk about simple steps, and this radio show is about possibilities, but it's also kind of like how a person might get started on erasing the negativity in their life. Are there 1 or 2 simple steps that you could kind of share with us so the listening audience can go, that might work for me?
Oh, absolutely. I tell people when I give talks that if they just do the 3 simple steps that are outlined in the first chapter, they will, and nothing else. Of course, I want them to read the whole book, but if they just did what was in the first chapter, they would really see a big difference. And it's first is just being aware, paying a little bit of attention to what you're thinking about, what you're saying, and what you're doing. You don't have to do it 24 hours a day. Maybe just set aside a few minutes because, like I said, a lot of people don't even think they are negative, but once they start paying attention to their thoughts and not even going into the speech and actions, they'll think, oh, my goodness, I really do have a little more negativity than I thought I did. And so the first thing is to be aware of what you're thinking, saying, and doing. And then the second step is what I call erase and replace. So you take that negative thought or speech, and we actually do more thinking than we do speaking. So, for instance, something like in my case where I've gained weight as I've gotten older. I was thin all my life, and then I hit menopause, and now I'm, got some pounds I need to shed. And a lot of my friends and we will say things like, "Oh, I'm too fat," or "I've gained too much weight," and it's so negative. And so instead, I erase that. I can't deny the fact that I've got those extra pounds. My clothes tell me every day. But I say, instead of saying I'm too fat or I have to lose weight, I say I love it when I make healthy choices. And it's more loving, it's more positive. And so when I say that out loud or to myself, I might eventually find myself reaching for an apple instead of the ice cream. And but just I love it when I make healthy choices. So that's the erase the negative and replace with something positive. And then the third step, and I get a lot of people tease me about this, but it's an oldie but a goodie, and it's very true, is to smile. People, even when they're happy, very often have no idea that they're going around frowning, and then, of course, people frown back. And but there are endorphins that are released when we smile. People react better to us when we smile, and it's just a learned habit. And sometimes, and especially when we're in a bad mood, I work out of my home office, so it's easy for me, but if I feel grouchy, I'll go in there, in the bathroom, shut the door, look in the mirror, and I don't care how upset I am, I'll smile. And usually it makes me laugh because the very irony of smiling when you're aggravated is kind of funny. And then that breaks the spell. And so those three things, being aware of what you're thinking, saying, and doing, erase and replace and smile. And those are three steps that anybody can do.
Those are three lovely steps, and my perception is they're very powerful steps.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, people can change their lives with just those three steps alone.
Now, you talk about the erase negativity, then you go on to embrace the magic within, and I love the way on your book cover how the magic is in big, bold, rich letters. When we erase the negativity, what have you personally experienced, or the individuals you interviewed, what kind of magic did they find inside?
It's funny because every once in a while somebody will see the book cover and react like you do, how they find it fascinating. And then there's some people that think that it's terrible. They go, "Oh, I don't believe in magic," But we're talking about the magic of wonderful things that are in our everyday lives, flowers, the smile of a baby, beautiful music, that feeling of happiness you get when you can truly help another person. It doesn't have to be mystical, although in some cases I believe it is, but it's just little everyday things that are there that we sometimes choose to ignore because we're just so busy doing what we need to do. I had an example the other day. I took a walk because I'm out of town right now, and the most gorgeous wild flowers, just breathtakingly beautiful. And had I not been walking and not been in a hurry that particular day, I could just take the time to just look at all the different hues and colors and shapes of these flowers. And I think, maybe in a different day I might have thought, "Oh, that's nice," and then just, sped along. But I had that moment, and I felt really very connected to those flowers. So that's the kind of magic we're talking about. It doesn't have to be mystical, although very often I think it can be. But sometimes just something as simple as enjoying the beauty and the wonderful things in life.
I love it. And I agree with you, Sally, that when I think of magic, it's the magic that's in life that for whatever reason, probably because I don't stand in the mirror on those down days, and I have them as well, and smile. I love that because that makes me giggle just thinking about it. Is that we pass these incredible moments up, and they are moments. It doesn't have to be our whole life spent, with a silly Cheshire cat grin on our face. but we miss those moments of that I know for me just kind of put me back in alignment with my inner magic.
Right.
And that's probably why I love the cover and love the format, the stories. What was the most, or one of the most, I know there are many, impactful story for you?
It's true. Everyone spoke to me on a different level. But I would say there were two, one for the good and one for the sad. And the sad one, but she turned it around, was the story of a meth addict and who had such a tragic life, even being molested when she was 5 years old from her mother's boyfriend, to eventually turning to drugs and then overcoming that. And when I interviewed her, I cried. I mean, I couldn't help it. The tears were coming down my face at the tragic life that she had. But yet she turned it around and was very optimistic. And I gave a talk the other day, and someone said, I'm so glad that you talked and gave hope to that people can overcome meth. And so that one was powerful, and that it was such a sad story that had a happy ending, because these are not all famous people. In fact, most of them are not. But and probably the most empowering one was the last chapter, and I kind of did it that way on purpose, where the more tragic ones in the beginning and then the more lighthearted ones at the end was a lady who wrote a book on auras and reality shifting, and just being in her presence, I felt like I was sitting next to an enlightened human being. I felt like my vibration went up a lot. She was very, very interesting and so full of love and light that it just blew me away. And her chapter I thought was very good too. So those I would say for two different reasons were my two favorite chapters. I think Maria's is maybe the second or third chapter, and then Cynthia's is the 11th, the last chapter.
I love the wide range because, to your point, as I peruse through the book, and I don't typically read front to back, so I just kind of skip around as I'm called, that you really touched so much of humanity, from the kind of pain of the young gal that went through and became a meth addict and then moved on through it, which was so powerful, to, like you said, the lady who just radiated, and yet she'd had her challenges too.
Oh, yeah.
No one's without them.
And that one, I was surprised, and when she told me, because she's an author herself, that she had not had that part of her life story published in any of her own books, and that's that at 5 years old she wanted to kill herself. And so, yes, even with that, and I thought, oh, my goodness, when my kids were 5 years old, they were watching Sesame Street, and their biggest worry was, whether they were going to get apple juice or grape juice for lunch. And here was someone that wanted to end her life. So it's very, but yeah, she is. I mean, just a truly, I think the closest I've come to meeting an enlightened person.
Oh, so wonderful. Well, Sally, sadly, we have come to the end of this wonderful conversation and of your sharing. However, you are so much more than an author, not just an author, but an author, a co-author. And would you share with the listeners how to reach you, a little more about yourself, and how to obtain your book, please?
Oh, sure. Well, the best way to find out all about that is through my website, which shares the main part of the name of the book, and that's www.erasenegativity.com. Another way is through my blog, which is erasenegativity.blogspot.com. And they can find my email, my phone number, and contact me, like I said, through the website. They can get the book through the website. They can also get it on Amazon. And on the website, I also have a listing of all the bookstores that are currently carrying the book.
Oh, perfect. Sally, thank you so much for taking this time to be with you and for putting out, I love going way back to the beginning of our conversation, noticing around you all the friends that are deeply negative. And like I said, we need to take this a step at a time. Most of us can't leap tall buildings in a single bound, and your book certainly assists us in doing that. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure to be on.
Please stay tuned. I'll be right back after this quick commercial break so we can pick up some of the nuggets of gold left along our path by Sally and the Angelic Realm.
My name is Robert Gluck. I am a practicing trial lawyer and have been specializing in helping people who have been injured in all types of accidents for the past 20 years. I handle cases throughout the state of Florida. Recently, the legislature in Tallahassee has changed certain laws, and insurance companies are now taking advantage of those changes, resulting in much lower offers on personal injury cases across the board. It is now necessary to file a lawsuit to get a fair settlement on these cases. Before you settle your case for less than what it's worth, let me review it over the phone or in person with you for free. If there is no recovery, there is no fee. Call now for your free consultation at 954-583-8999. That's 954-583-8999.
The hiring of an attorney is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertising. Ask for free written information about qualifications and experience.
Are you ready to explode your business? Then you are ready to take advantage of the massive marketing power of the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network. Advertise your business, product, or service with one of the most powerful multimedia platforms on the planet. With more than 300,000 online listeners, 30 social media outlets, and a booming 15 hours of live programming on South Florida's 50,000-watt mega giant, AM 1470 WNN. Your business will be exposed to hundreds of thousands of active, progressive consumers hungry for your products and services. You'll be featured on blogs, live streams, social media, at live events, and on hundreds of archived podcasts, including Rockers in Recovery, the East Coast Music Scene, Defending Your Money, and dozens more. Plus, prime-time national exposure during major festivals from Las Vegas to Boston and the Florida Keys. Get ready to take your business to the next level and jumpstart your branding strategy. Advertise your events, products, and services on the Holistic Lifestyles Radio Network. Call now for special discounted packages, 877-799-8773. That's 877-799-8773. Or visit HolisticLifestylesRadio.com.
All Florida Bail Bonds, over 13 years of in-the-business experience, plus hundreds of hours of court time, possesses the knowledge and experience to help you through all situations. All Florida Bail Bonds has prior law enforcement, military, and professionals with business experience, making all Florida Bail Bonds very well respected in the community. When you need a bail bondsman, make sure to choose one with a great reputation, that's competent, and a knowledgeable staff, and the drive to appreciate your business. All Florida Bail Bonds. Call today at 954-565-2424 or at 866-ALL-BAIL. That's 866-ALLBAIL.
Didn't I tell you there would be a 1-2 punch? First, as I connected with the Angelic Realm, and they talked really focused on the magic within, the magic that is each of us, and the magic in our lives that we miss. And then to have Sally come on and really get into the 3 steps. Oh, my gosh, I love it when people make it simple and able for us to follow. And she talked about the 3 steps to begin releasing, erasing. I love the word erase, the negativity in our lives. And I don't know about you, but when I think of erasing, I think of the blackboards when I was a kid. And I think of the fact that on a blackboard, when we erased it, you couldn't retrieve it. On the computers now you can retrieve it, but back then we were erasing it. And if I erase negativity, I sure as heck don't want to retrieve it. So I'm going to focus on that blackboard of my youth, if you will. So my question to each of us at this moment is, what negativity do we carry? And I'll give you a perfect example. I was at a book signing 2 days ago, and I love people, and I love connecting with them. I booked the Creating Formula, And I was at a book signing, and it was about 15 minutes before the book signing, and all of a sudden, I went from being, oh, my gosh, this is a wonderful world. I love being here. I love connecting. I love working with the angelic realm and really assisting people to, what if nobody comes? Oh, my gosh. What if nobody wants the book? What if nobody wants my signature? Oh, my gosh. And I went into the funk. I call it the funk. And you've all been there. Don't tell me you haven't. Whether it's a night that you've invited a whole bunch of friends over, and maybe you said, come on, around 7, and it's 7 o'clock and no one's there. I've been in that funk as well. But I was at this funk with at this book signing, and I was just, oh my gosh, what is happening? And I tried to kind of rally myself. I know about negativity. I know about the magic in my life. And I tried to rally myself. And I did something similar when I was in corporate America, and I'd go into some big meeting with a big client, and I knew they weren't happy, and my job was to be there to, bring them back to the service level they desired. And I remember I'd say to myself, well, they can't kill me. I guess they can, but they won't kill me. Okay, they won't kill me. Okay, that feels better. They may take their contract. Ooh, that'll hurt. And they won't kill me. And so as I'm in this book signing, I'm thinking the same thing. Well, this isn't going to kill me. I will sit here. I may sit here for an hour waiting and talking to myself and, kind of looking around and maybe reading a little of my book and not worried about it. It won't kill me. So that's kind of my first floor, if you will, for negativity. And then as it got closer to time and suddenly people started showing up, and I couldn't believe it was for me. Let's talk about negativity and talk about self-worth for a minute. You've been there. And I stood and I looked, and they started kind of coming over to the table I had just sat down at. And I'm going, holy smokes, are these people for me? And before you knew it, I had one of the most amazing book signings I've ever had. And, in fact, I was only supposed to last about an hour, and it lasted well over an hour. And I did a couple of things differently because I like to turn my negativity, my fear, my ego concern, because, by the way, what if only one person had shown up? What I know about the universe is that would have been the perfect person to have time to chat with. And, boy, my ego says, yes, but what will the others think? Your ego says that, too, ladies and gentlemen. And that just takes you into more negativity and fear. I want to erase it. So what I did was because I'd been there and I was going to find that magic because I believe in it, I believe in everything Sally's talking about and the angelic realm, I found the magic in each person. I didn't just sign a book and hand it to them. I made eye contact and I found the magic because I intend to erase that negative tape that loops and loops and loops, and ladies and gentlemen, we all have them. And Sally gave us just 3 simple steps. 1, pay attention. Pay attention to what we're thinking, saying, and feeling. And one of the things I've learned as I listen to my clients is they all have the best answer for them. I'll ask a question in a generic form, and I'll say, what would you do if? And I kind of lay it out. And I said, I really don't care what the book says. I really care what you think. And they kind of look at me and I said, no, tell me what you think about that. I'd like some help here. And then they tell me, and then I ask about, and what would it be for you? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know that. I said, yes, you do. You just told me. Well, no, but I can't handle that. Yes, you can. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been in your thought process. And then we begin to erase those negative moments, those negative thoughts, those negative beliefs, if you will. Those beliefs that are no longer assisting the individual to be all they can be, to find those magic moments in life. And we begin to erase them. And as Sally said in her second step, erase and replace. Universe hates a vacuum. We all learned that in high school chemistry. Universe hates a vacuum. If we don't replace it, it will simply return. That's true of a belief. That's true of a negative thought. That's true of anything. erase and replace. And didn't she give us just an amazing example from I've gained too much weight to I know I will eat better. I know I am eating better, to bring it into what the angelic realm would call this moment, this now. I know I'm eating better. And I loved what Sally said. If we listen closely, she said, and I know that because I'm saying that, because I'm erasing and replacing, that someday I will eat better. And what I think she inferred, don't know what's in her mind, but what I heard was, if I never erase and replace, I may never eat better. Wow. Erase and replace, and then don't beat yourself up for not eating better. Oh, didn't eat as well as I'd like to this time. I'll eat better next time. Erase and replace. So step one, think about it. Notice what you say. And we're worse, in my opinion, in groups. We go into groupthink. And groupthink, just like any chain, drops to its weakest point. So if you have a lot of negative friends around you, I'm going to highly recommend you look for new friends. Or you say, I don't want to deal with that. I was in a conversation the other day, and this person, for the same story 3 times. I finally said, I've heard enough of that. I really don't care. Because that was the truth. And so I told the truth. And I didn't say, I don't want to listen to you. I said, I've heard that 3 times. I don't care enough to hear it a 3rd or 4th or 5th time. And it pulled the person up short. And yes, I do those things. Yes, I do. And the rest of the people in the room breathed a deep sigh of relief. And the individual came up to me later and said, that wasn't very nice. And I said, what wasn't very nice? Well, telling me to shut up. I said, I didn't tell you to shut up. I reminded you you had told the same negative story. You were on it for the 3rd time. I'd heard it once. I didn't need to hear it anymore. I don't need that negativity in my midst. And the person looked at me, and I really appreciate this, found a magical moment, embraced the magic, and said, I really told that 3 times? I said, yes, you did. And I said, I wished I could have taken you aside and stopped you, but I didn't know another way. Because I tried to insert 2 or 3 times, and you were on a roll. And she said, yes, I was, wasn't I? And I kind of laughed and said, yes, you were. And then she apologized to the group. So sometimes we can't catch ourselves, and we need our friends to catch us. And if possible, catch them one-on-one. And always it's less hit on the ego, you know? Erase and replace. And the 3rd step, oh my gosh, I love this, and it made me giggle just hearing Sally say it. Now go smile. Preferably go to a mirror. If you're in a dark space, deep dark space, the day is horrible, it's icky, it's awful, you're done, you've had enough, go to your mirror and smile. And smile funny smiles. Smile a nice one. And then smile a smile that you had when you were 2 and the world was gorgeous for you. And you had when you were 5 and you saw your first bubbles being blown. The first time you got on a carousel and see those brightly painted horses that now, quite frankly, as adults look pretty dull, don't they? They look lifeless. But as a child, smile the smile of a child. Embrace the silliness in your life, because those are some of the magic moments. Those are some of the magic moments intended to assist you in shifting. Go walk in your garden. Go walk along the street. Find that little flower that has struggled and struggled and struggled and finally sprung forth in the crack in the concrete. Go hike a path and see that little flower coming forth from the rocks. And stand there and honor the flower and honor you, because you are as powerful. You can be as persistent. You have what it takes to erase and replace the negativity in your life. You have what it takes to connect with the magic in your life, the magic that is intended for you, to bring that smile to your face, that feeling to your heart, to your soul, if you will. I was watching a little girl try to walk two dogs. Her mom was right there, and they were two pretty big dogs, and they were being so gentle and kind. The little girl was just so darn cute, and she knew she could do it. And you remember when we knew we could do it, even if we got pulled down the path, dragging and screaming? But she knew she could do it, and about the time she turned to tell her mommy, and I expect something like I was in his car at a stop sign noticing this, look, Mommy, one of the dogs saw a rabbit and took off. And the little girl held on valiantly as the mother scrambled to pick her up and grab the leash as well. And that was just so lovely. The little girl's awareness of what was possible in her mind, and the mother's handling it that didn't demean the possibility at all. Connect with all those moments. Instead of judging them as, why did she give her the leash in the first place, notice the beauty in the moment. Instead of staying in the fear like with me with the book signing, honor every person that comes into your life. When you have that dinner party and you're scared no one would show up, honor everyone that comes. It makes them more precious when we erase and replace. And the last thought I want to leave you with, because we are coming to the end of this show, is erase and replace with a magical self that is you. Don't cover over with mental ego that's trying to protect you, but it only covers up the negativity. Erase and replace. Have an awesome week. I look forward to connecting with you next week. The wonderful show of possibilities. I am Barbara Joy, the Shift Guru. Visit me at www.theshiftguru.com. I'm off. My son is getting married. It's going to be an awesome time. So take care, and I will connect with you next week.
If this show has opened some possibilities you would like to explore, visit Joy at her website, www.theshiftguru.com. That's TheShiftGuru.com. Consider the tools available to you through her books, speaking topics, and offerings as a guide. Also, sign up for her short monthly newsletter and receive free ebooks dealing with angelic topics. Joy has assisted individuals just like you to create the lives they desire, one shift at a time. Call Joy at 303-880-5950 or complete the contact form on her website to set an appointment now. Begin shifting your life experience. None of the beliefs being discussed on this show or in Joy's offerings deal with faith-based beliefs. Joy supports all faith-based belief systems, and the views expressed.
Let me tell you about the Sound Pillow. Sound Pillow helps many people in early addiction recovery who suffer from stress, anxiety, fear, and long sleepless nights to get a comfortable night's sleep by providing a calming and soothing feeling for the mind's everyday distractions. Sound Pillow allows the mind to shut down, the body to relax, and the spirit to heal. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's soundpillow.com. And while you're there, check out the many endorsements from people and addiction treatment centers using the Sound. Don't lose another night's sleep. Call toll-free today, 877-846-6488. That's 877-846-6488. And let the healing begin. Go online to soundpillow.com. That's www.soundpillow.com.
Attention, the 4th annual 12-Step Music Fest is coming November 3rd through the 6th in Sugarloaf Key, Florida. 4 days of music and fun with 12 musical acts along with the Rockers in Recovery supergroup featuring Byrd, guitarist formerly of Joan, Jett and the Blackhearts, Liberty Devito, formerly of Billy Joel, Woody Geisman of the Del Fuegos, Kasim Sulton of Todd, Rundgren and Utopia, Christine Ohlman of the Saturday Night Live Band, and 4 more to be announced by September. Find out more about this sober Woodstock in Sugarloaf Key by joining rockersinrecovery.com or by calling 877-799-8773.
It's the hottest new addiction recovery mega community on the web. Rockers in Recovery. Music, news, interviews, events, and festivals with an insider's angle. Rock and roll industry, all backed up by artists who are in recovery and support recovery, featuring dozens of rock legends like former Joan, Jett and the Blackhearts lead guitarist Byrd, Richie Supa of Aerosmith, and tons more. It's a worldwide music and media festival at your fingertips. Get inside the rock and roll recovery scene with a click of your mouse. Click rockersinrecovery.com. That's rockersinrecovery.com.
Here's hoping you're healthy and wealthy. South Florida's Health and Wealth Radio Network. AM 1470, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
The show you wait for all week is on. Or the ball game you've been looking forward to. Or there's a breaking emergency that really matters.
The weather situation is much worse across.
So you turn on your local TV, and it's gone. Gone. Gone for good. It could happen. Because right now, congressional action may threaten the local TV that you rely on, that you've always relied on. Millions could lose access to free local news. Others could lose their HD TV unless Congress protects local TV. Tell Congress to protect millions who could lose their free TV. Log on and learn more at thefuturetv.org or call 1-800-200-4372. Tell Congress, protect your local TV. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of its host, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. This is All Points Bulletin with Broward Sheriff Al Lamberti, brought to you by the Broward Sheriff's Office, the largest fully accredited sheriff's office in the United States with over 5,800 employees. If you have questions about the program, please call 954-831-8900. That's 954-831-8900. Or go online to www.sheriff.org. And now, today's program.
Good afternoon, South Florida. You're tuned in to All Points Bulletin with Broward Sheriff Al Lamberti. I'm your co-host, Commander Michael Calderon. We're enjoying another great day in South Florida, and we thank you that you've joined us on WWNN Radio and also on bsolive.org, so you can see us, you can hear us, and we can get you all that information that you need with the touch of a button. And the sheriff is out and about today. I know that he'll be tuning in and listening, making sure that we're doing our job here on All Points Bulletin. Although the sheriff is not in the studio with us today, I got to tell you, it's a packed house here. We are also doing BSO Live, bsolive.org, and you can listen at wwnnradio.com. You can listen in on your phone. You can listen from your laptop. You can listen from your desktop. And you can listen the old-fashioned way in your car on the radio at AM 1470. In the studio with me today, I have Captain Rick Wierzbicki.
How you doing, Mike?
How you doing, Captain?
Very good, thank you.
Great to have you here. Newly promoted Captain Rick Wierzbicki.
Thank you, sir.
And 62 men and women of the Broward Sheriff's Office, fire rescue, detention, and law enforcement were promoted this past week, and that was on Monday, and I believe it's the largest promotion ceremony in history.
I think you're right, Mike.
At the Broward Sheriff's Office. I know that's something that Sheriff Lamberti is very, very proud of because, as you know, we've gone through some difficult economic times, and it looks like we're finally starting to see the light. Promoting people up through the ranks gives room for more people to grow within the BSO family. Also, We have Sergeant Abby.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.